Ladies and gentlemen, Grandmaster Jerry Fast Fontaine is here with another update for the Unified Martial Arts Network. UMAN, OGs, older guys and older girls. Fountain Review Tour starts Region 11, launch on February 28th. Now, I must say this. For the time being, God, I'm going to have to do this for a little while longer, only because I'm feeling a little... Some people... They contacted me, and they wanted to see if I can give them the deal that I had way back in October. And I was thinking about it, saying, man, so many people came to my birthday, all the way from far away. And they've been really supportive, I must say. But what I started doing was adding a profile, a competitor's profile. So since I'm doing that, for the next week, that means up until February 1st, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to give you guys all the benefits. So when you go to UMANOG.com, UMANOG.com, you're going to get the benefits, and I'm going to add some to them. You guys, I'm not sure if you've seen when I'm doing, not only have I been doing interviews recently, but I'm also doing a preview 1.5 minute commercial for the interview about the person. In addition to that, we're doing like a 5 to 6 minute infomercial about the interview, about the person. Then I'm making an actual map or a timeline of the individual. So I'm interviewing them, giving them a map, which is a timeline, giving them a commercial for 1.5 minutes, giving them a 5 minute or 6 minute infomercial. And on top of that, I'm still giving them the song. What? Holy crap. Now, the song, honestly, on average, between $500 and $1,500 is what I've sold them in the past. Why am I doing that? Because you, I believe, deserve to be recognized. Now, if you look up there, right there, I set up the studio, actually right behind me, right behind me. And this studio that I'm still working on has some historical stuff and some more to be put up, because it's time for some action to interview pioneers and legends. You compete in UMAN OG and you start off this season and you compete for 5 years. There's no question about it. People will consider you a pioneer, earning it. Now, I don't care what the hell you did in the past. Let's eliminate that and keep that exactly where it's at in the past. But looking into the future, which is the way I think about it, I'm 2020. I got not just 2020 vision, but I got 2020 vision, meaning my third eye is ready. And I'm ready to take some action for the future. That being the case, right there in the middle, you see, is the Action Martial Arts Mega Weekend. Next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I shall be along with Miss Littlebit in person and Senpai Franklin to do 2 things. One, to help people with Super Patch. Oh, God, I better hurry up. I don't have that many victories. Jeez, I'm really behind. Help people with Super Patch, to hook them up. Plus, to pay or set up for the UMAN OG tournament February 28th at the El Pat Center, which is the Latino Pastoral Action Center, 170th Street. To be exact, it's 14 West 170th Street in the Boogie Down Bronx. Now, remember, this tournament is the first of the league's launch, Region 11. Then we're going to do other regions. So there's going to be at least 4 more tournaments this year nationwide, guys. Now, please understand that the first one was historical, legendary. We had people come from a total of 16 states that were represented, including New York City. I should say New York State. But people came from as far as California, as far south as Florida. That being the case, I'm excited. Henry Mickey Jackson, brother, I'll make sure you're there. It's very important to me. I know you've been busy. I've been reaching out to you a few times. But I must say that with $3,500 on the line, I'm a little worried too that, you know, we have enough people there to be able to cover that. But it doesn't really matter. You know, my intention is to try to help people as much as possible. And I must say that, once again, if you go to what was or what is UMAN OG.com. You see the deal that I have created way back in October, but it's even better now. I'm looking to make people feel good and look good. So I'm interviewing 100 people, 100 people. Now, if you look at the description, guys, you will see that literally there's a calendar schedule. In other words, if you want to set up your interview, 30-minute interview, competitor, and if I've spoken to you, and even judge, then fill out the information to figure out a good time, because it's starting to get a little crazy. I've done 5 in the last 2 days, something like that, 5 or 6, I'm not even sure. But it's really starting to get really busy with me, and I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to tell their story, because you're all important. Us one, everyone's story is important. Today we did Hanchi Melendez, we also did CJ's, we also did Master Ty, we also did who was the other person? Going blank. Oh, James Cisco. And then I have 2 other ones that I have to re-edit, because there was an echo that was happening via Zoom, so I had to go to plan B, and I used Messenger. Oh, the other one was Louis Cruz. So that's the 6 people. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. So we got Louis Fast Guy Cruz. We have CJ Rivera. We have Master Ty. We had James Cisco. And Hanchi Dennis Melendez. And the last person that I have to make some changes, because there was an echo, was Sifu Jose Sanchez. So far, 6. I have to do 94 more. So that's between 2 and 4 per day in order for me to meet my quota. Now, after I do the interview, then I put together a media kit for everybody. Yes, and I know you guys can't afford it without being disrespectful, because if I did that for any company, I would charge $1,000, because that's more than enough content and professionalism. But why would I do that? And this is the deal that you guys, I want you to really think about it. If you're able to get some spectators to come to the event because of you during this time, and I'm going to add that, then I'll give you a $10 commission. Why would I do that? Because you can use that for the spectators any way you want. If you get 10 of them, that means you know, it was free for you to compete. But it's just a way for me to show my token appreciation. Because if you was able to draw 5 to 10 people, that would be great, right? It would be nice. And if you could compensate, that would be even cooler. But my point still is that I want your guys to look as good as possible. Now, mind you, I own a company called Jay Givenson. And Jay Givenson is a straight-up marketing company. So a lot of times when you see me do the AIs or websites or apps or what have you, that's where I ran, the real-world business. Now, a lot of the karate people just don't have the technological savvy. I happen to do it because, to me, marketing is cute. It's the most important thing. It's number one. If they don't know what business you're doing, then you might be out of business. So my point is this: when we raise our standards, now, people keep telling me that I'm freaking nuts. I know I'm crazy. Why? Because I care about us. I care about us. And I'm not talking about it. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I keep seeing people, literally spend their money doing things that, they're entitled to do it. But there's nothing in this for them. And what I mean by this, what I mean by that is this. I go to a karate tournament, I pay $100 on the average, sometimes a little less, and they don't even give away enough money for me to break even. And I know you're not doing it because of the money, but come on, your wife will not be pissed off. She won't be happy. She won't be upset at you if you're able to buy her dinner. You've been gone all day, at least, or bring her to the event. Let her come to the nighttime finals, and enjoy a little after party. Yes, speaking of after party, Miss Littlebit's birthday happens to be on February 6th, but we're going to celebrate her actual birthday in terms of the party on that same evening, right after the nighttime finals. Last time we didn't get a chance to do it. This time we have committed people. I got plan A, plan B, and plan C. Now, right over here on the right-hand side is something that I had said to my fiance. Honey, none of my relatives or family members even came to my birthday party. And not that I was complaining, it just so happens that I've been out of the loop. And then one day, how many people we had today, for my family?
4, I think, 5.
Well, how about this? Everybody in that room was my cousin,
yes,
including my uncle. I had my uncle, my cousin, my cousin Carmen, who had her two daughters,
Yes.
and then her older brother Jose, right? And then Shirley came, and then so we got
Six.
six. What else not counting my uncle?
Was amazing.
So 7 people, and that's a photo of my uncle. So next week we'll be in Atlantic City, and then here is what you guys see back there, which is the studio I'm trying to set up. And guys, see, this stuff is not important to me personally. It really isn't. But it is important to the people for credibility when it comes to what they, who am I? Because some people say, who is that guy? I'm like thinking, wow, yeah, okay. So if they don't know who I am, then maybe it's time to put some credibility up. And again, it's not for the purpose of braggadocious, or just for the purpose of being specific. For example, this guy here, Joe Louis. Joe Louis, he was voted the best fighter of all time by many people back in the day. Well, he's the way I learned how to fake and reposition and do angles. And this award right there, I got to get it confirmed, but that award right there is the biggest award I ever got because it was from the peers recognizing the peers. In other words, in 2012, when Joe Louis passed away, they decided to do the Eternal Warrior Award. And that Eternal Warrior Award consisted of top fighters recognizing each other. Now, they closed it in 2018, so they only kept it open for 5 years. And at that time, there was a little over 300 people worldwide. Some of the last people that were inducted was like Wonder Boy Steve Thompson. You know, you had the Tayari Cassels, you had the Keith Vitalis. Oh, the last time, rest in peace, we saw Ray McCallum. Or even Alan Steen, rest in peace to him. So a lot of people passed since then. But in 2018, they had the last, what would be, school in it. Well, I was inducted in 2013 in the first run. And that's crazy, which means I was inducted with, I believe, unless I said corrected, with the Chuck Norrises, the Jeff Smiths, the Joe Corleys, the Keith Vitalis, etc. And I was like, what the heck is that about? Why am I being recognized by what would be the first generation of the real deal legends? I felt like a phony. Then I was told, don't you realize what you've done? I'm like, what did I do? If you take the career of Mike Stone, which was only 2 years, and you take the career of Mr. Carlos Norris, I don't think he was 10 years, might have been 5 or 6 years, even though his students went further, longer. And you take the career of Jeff Smith, which is pretty extensive. He went from point karate to full contact, or what became kickboxing years after. Take the same thing with Bill Super for Wallace. So if you take, let's say Wallace had 20 years, which I don't think that's the case. And let's say that bottom line is that you take any 5 of them, and I still haven't finished. My first grand champion was 1983. My last grand champion so far was last year in 2026. And that's ridiculous when I think about it. I've been so blessed. But you know what? None of that matters. I want to compete in the future and do so much better. Except they do not respect us any freaking way. I don't care what anybody says, and that's disgusting to me. They act like, oh, we're old people. Go to the corner over there and have some fun, old men and women. Man, not that everybody did this, but I can only say this about myself. I gave up blood, sweat, and tears. Like crooked teeth, crooked nose, cut over the eyes, and even this finger, straight to the side. See this finger here? It was destroyed because I was part of a demonstration when I'm holding these bricks while the person's in the bottom, and someone comes with a sledgehammer and hits the bricks. And they hit my finger for your entertainment. That happened at the Young Kwan tournament. I was probably 17 years old, so it must have been 1983. I believe that's the case. So I gave up a big part of my life. This is my life. And I was there way before Master. Way before Master. Because I remember when it was being developed. I was there. And for what it was worth, I was a top-rated competitor. Yes. This year, I celebrate 40 years, 1986, since my jaw was broken and my teeth were crooked. Best thing that ever happened to me, even though people try to use that as a disrespect to me. No. Quadrillion Billy Blanks was my mentor. The night before, I knocked somebody out. That year, he got knocked out twice. And it was just a different type of game. The same way he broke my jaw, the following tournament, I'm not sure how many stitches he got inside of his head by one of his teammates, by accident. We were just playing a different type of sport. Today, that does not exist in the same capacity unless you go to a UMAN event. And I don't mean that people got hurt. Yes, people got hurt because they pulled a muscle. Yes, people had... I found out there was a ninth member at the event that has beaten cancer or was in a stage of cancer. Can you imagine that? So yeah, we're the older guys and older girls, but we're not dead. Age 20, 20, 20, some people say 60. Let's see what happens this year. I'll be able to pop some of these freaking young kids so they can respect. The promoters themselves, you guys, man, they disgusting. How are you going to have a freaking tournament, have the pioneers and legends that made the freaking sport, and we can't even be on stage in the nighttime finals at these big tournaments? We have to be, they want us under this damn stage. Why am I adamant? Because it's supposed to be about longevity. What happens to the generational, what would be respect? And I'm not talking about for the people who never done a damn thing, that are just freaking judges and have an attitude when they do that, that has the illusion that they've done something. Your guys can come out and do something. Come out and play. Come out and play. Stop talking crap, whether it's fighting forms or weapons. And I'll tell you this much. If you guys do forms, maybe I'm wrong. I think forms is harder to do than sparring. And you're not going to be able to protect yourself with no freaking form. Oh, hold on a second. Let me do my kata. Get out of here. That's not going to freaking work. Stop. I mean, stop. You know, we have to be honest about things. Karate is cool, but it becomes corny in a second when you guys start using these freaking, all these damn weird names. And I'm saying for the general public, I understand that we are part of a martial arts culture, and that culture, depending on your legacy, you want to follow this trend or that trend. But remember, it's a freaking America. And we have to deal with the general public. And we do that corny shit, it turns people off. I don't know about you, but I don't come from us. I come from Taekwondo. And when we bowed in Kung Fu, we didn't say a damn thing. My point is that that's why I say us. We all important. Not this style, not that style, not that style, but this style. What's the common denominator? We want to become better at our physicality to get home safe. So best way to test that, unless you have an injury, listen to what I'm saying, unless you have an injury that's detrimental to what would be your life, don't compete in fighting. But besides that, please understand this, you can learn the techniques at any age that actually work. Fake, repositions, angles, blitz, dive bomb. If you don't know how to do them, it makes it difficult to even judge them. You cannot judge something that you do not know unless you get educated on what it is that you're doing. I love martial arts. I don't always love the martial artists. And I know that in that room, people were very excited. They had an opportunity to see people they haven't seen in many years or ever to compete. Like I said, 16 states that were represented. But trust me, I heard all the freaking yap, oh, I thought such and such is going to be there. And they're not here, and all of a sudden the person popped up. Your haters, you motivate. You hate, I motivate. Now, one thing that's not going to happen, guys, you're going to come in as a competitor. You're going to come in as a spectator. You're going to be a timekeeper, a judge, but we're going to know beforehand. But if you think you're going to say that you're going to judge, like happened before, and I call people to judge, and you guys just turn your back because you'd rather be spectating, nothing wrong with that, but you're going to pay a spectator fee. I am not going to get stuck up again. Listen to what I'm saying. For those of you, and if you're going to judge, you're going to wear a freaking uniform. Now what happens? You get to the event, you don't have a uniform, you're supposed to be a judge. Sorry, you freaking blew it. I do not want to have to repeat myself that this is not a it's not a 2026 tournament. It's a 1986 tournament. 40 years was the last time, 40 years ago was the last time sport karate was, as I consider it, great stuff. Because today what's happening, I can't even watch the damn fights, or the kata's even worse. And everybody's freaking just twirling stuff. It's like, what the hell? I don't like it. God bless them, best wishes. They're doing that right now in the AKA Grand Nationals as we speak. I wish I could go to that tournament and enjoy myself. But they won't let me sweep. They won't let me. Man, it's like you got these grown adults and they have headgears with a mask on and rib protectors and elbow pads and knee pads. They're like the Michelin Man. And for years, you didn't have anywhere else to go. So at age 50, 60, 70, 80. You're the youngest person in that division. It goes from 80 to 84, from 70 to 74, from 75 to 79, 5 years. Now, I was thinking, maybe we allow, maybe we'll do this. We don't have that many underbucks that compete in the tournament. And I was going to say, let the underbucks compete with the men black belts. That's real traditional. That's what I was saying. Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to be the case with some of these instructors, you know. So I'm going to give the option. If you're an underbelt and you're competing, I'll let you compete in the black belt men division and sparring too. The hell? Mike Stone won grand champion as a white belt. Do you guys know that? He did. They made him a black belt in 6 months because he was making all the black belts look bad. So they forced his instructor to give him his black belt based on what he earned. And he actually won grand champion in forms too. Can you imagine that? My point is that let men be men and let women be women, and the belts don't freaking mean anything. They really don't. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's a detriment. When I try to show people how to fake, how to reposition, how to do techniques that was done many moons ago, but their style, whether it was shorter contact taekwondo, kung fu, they didn't have a fake reposition of blitz. Yamaguchi didn't know how to blitz. Funakoshi didn't know how to freaking do a dive bomb. No, that was a different type of curriculum way back when. Americans was the ones that developed what would be next level pugilism. And the rest of the world copied us. It wasn't the damn Europeans. And I say it like that because I'm adamant. These guys have taken what was a great technique, a back fist with a reverse punch, and they extend their glove now, and now the glove is dangling, and they don't even do it to the head no more. They do it to the body. A slap fist to the body, and then a reverse punch, and the glove's not even on their hands. It's bad enough where we were watching a video, and Miss Little Big got upset yesterday because I was competing at a tournament, and literally, I hit the guy, and he came at me. I hit him while he was coming at him. I'm on the other side, and she said that judge that's right there didn't see it, and I said no, hon, because I don't expect that. So when you're throwing techniques, a lot of times people don't see it. And even to this very day, when I watch myself sparring in the hallway, which a lot of times people say, "Oh, why he's not attacking you?" Because I'm not at the distance that he can. You're watching it from one dimension instead of 5 angles. It would have been 4 angles on the top, and I may give you a little better perspective. If you listen to what I say in between, which I take it off a lot of times because that's not for your guys, that's for the people who pay for sniperfight.com to get educated in what would be pugilism or sniper fighting, distance fighting. But everyone has a freaking opinion. They have an opinion, but they don't even know how to do the damn technique. And I'm like, shut the hell up. Like, who needs your opinion? I'm not putting those things up. Yeah, am I arrogant? Yeah. Or I should say adamant. And maybe arrogant too. Because I can still do things most of you guys never did. And it's not that I'm bragging. You guys are freaking lazy and you're learning. How can you not know that a blitz is a blitz and a dive bomb is a dive bomb and the fake and the reposition, and you switch in the pocket and you go to the left, hit to the right, go to the right, hit with the left. It's self-defense while moving. Now, my students, generations of students that a lot of them don't even know where it came from, can still do these things. And they did it as students in the 1980s. Mickey can attest to that. I was 16 years old. I was teaching these kids how to become champions. Adults alike. 17, same thing. Started teaching right there in the Head Start in 161st and Park Avenue, exactly where the building is at right now. Then I started doing other things. Every time I would come and learn something, whether it's from Billy Blanks or Joe Lewis, I was his assistant 3 times in a year and a half between 1985 and 1986. Every time I would do that, I would come back and wake Biggie up. Find somebody to share the information. I was enthusiastic and passionate about getting better, improving. So she's watching this match, and she gets upset because I officially lost, and the guy hit me with a chamber, and before that, it was a chamber, and before that, he got hit with a few kicks and a few punches that if he would have done that, they would have definitely gave it to him. And I told her, yeah, but he was part of this team, a gang, a clique, a posse, a crew. And that's why they didn't want to give me the points, which is stupid, right? But this is what happened back after 1987, starting in 1987. The gangs ran the streets. The gangs meaning the teams in tournaments. And I was the anti-team guy. And when I put a team together, it was a group of my own students. Totally awesome. The animal flexed in, has got to get hypeness, got my skills in, G Boogie, nice, this Top Guns, Fast Feed the Rocket, we're all the baddest. So many students that were phenomenal. Some own schools today. Most of them forgot. They had one freaking student from one of my student schools that came to our tournament. And I get it. Not everybody is to pointless karate. Did I say pointless? Yeah, it's pointless karate is the case in many cases. But why am I giving away the money? Because it's only right, damn it. I had to go compete in tournaments to earn some money. And if for some reason you fly in from another state and you make a measly $500, well, you might break even. Depending on how or where you stay. Or if you live in New York and you make the $500 like Derek Williams did, and he said, I never made this amount of money ever in a tournament. And I felt sad about that. I'm thinking, man, it's a measly freaking $500. So what did I do? Because I missed a little bit, I added another $1,500. So initially we gave away $2,000. Then I changed it to $3,500. Now, will there be enough to even cover the Grand Championship in the women's division? Let's find out. Will there be enough to cover the Grand Championship for the 70 and above division? Let's find out. But as far as I go, I don't think so. But so freaking what? And people say, why are you giving away the money? Because it's professional, damn it. And after a while, I think you guys will be able to appreciate and understand that no one's going to do this unless they care about us. So I'm on the line of being able to lose quite a bit of money, and I don't care. Eventually, people will catch on. Because we just begun. Again, Action Martial Arts Mega Weekend. I'm going to be there 3 days promoting the tournament and promoting for those who want to learn how to freaking move. Yeah, I got the freaking super patches, even though I'm missing quite a bit of the victories. I got to get some more victories, huh, before we go out there. I have to have Willie send them to me. So I'm excited. Now, so far 6 interviews. Mickey, I want to interview you too. I am going to interview I want people to understand other people's stories. Everybody is important. God does not make junk. We are all God's greatest creation. And what we do with that is our gift back to the Creator. Because they call this a present. Because it is a gift. A lot of people take that gift and use a little excusitis. And with excusitis, you don't get much done. So, I'm excited. I must say that it's $500 for grands from the 30 and 40-year-olds fighting in forms. $500 grand for the 50 and 60-year-olds fighting in forms. $500 grand for the 70 and above fighting in forms. The women have a separate $500 grand for fighting, and they also compete in every age bracket in the forms division for a total of $3,500. That being the case, it makes it the highest prize money ever given away for a 30-plus tournament. You take the AK Grand Nationals that's happening right now, you take the Diamond Nationals, and you take the U.S. Open. Huge events. Combine them, and they give away $300 for the 30, 34, and then $200 for a total of $5 at one event. When I'm giving that per age bracket, so I'm giving more than they are combined. Why? Because no one's gonna freaking look out for us except us. Again, here I go, putting together the Fontanez Museum right here in the Boogie Down Bronx. If I'm supposed to be in the Bronx, I guess I might as well hook up a museum. And then, Action Martial Arts Mega Weekend. First time I'm going to not just do word of mouth advertisement and also social media. But I'm going out. It's gonna cost me more, to eat food in the hotel than and then combined with the table. So I don't know if I'll break even. We'll find out. Then over here, I'm grateful that my Uncle Junior is alive and our whole family was there. So I'm looking forward to seeing people I haven't seen in many years, and I'm excited. This is way beyond kicking and punching. This is way beyond awards. This is way beyond even the money. But I don't know what other way than to show my gratitude. So again, if you're going to be interviewed because you pre-registered for the tournament, then the link is right in the description of this video. It's a Calendly link, and you just figure out what's a good time for you, and we'll make it happen. In addition to that, I'm also going to put sniperfight.com. I should say not sniperfight, I apologize. UMANOG.com. They have a discount from back in October right now that I just relaunched. And I put the old video up. I'm going to do that until February 1st. So between now and February 1st, jump on and get the deals that you can. After that, it goes to $100 for 2 divisions, and then my day at the door, it will be $100 for 1 division. And presently, if you just want to do 1 division without getting your T-shirt, without getting your interview, without getting your song, which I think is insane, without getting your profile, which we're adding to it, then you just pay $75 for 1 division. Same exact thing, or less than what they're doing in other tournaments that give you nothing. They don't give you $1. And they treat you like crap because they put you in the worst division. Anyway, I'm being redundant right now. I am Grandmaster Jerry Fastry Fontanez, and I am excited. And I thank you guys who are paying attention. And for those of you who choose to be there in whatever capacity it is, please contact me. If you want to become an official referee, then contact me, because starting on Monday, I'll be really working on getting the highest quality, at least sparring judges as possible for them. We have to just make sure that we have a great time. Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching. AB, see ya. I'm out of here.